Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to do a tutorial on the new monogram feature in Cricut Design Space. You can see on this sidebar that there is a new monogram button. This is available with the 7.9 update. This feature is only available for desktop or laptop. It looks like Cricut is thinking about putting it on iOS or Android devices, but so far they do not have it on any of the mobile apps. You do have to have the Cricut Access membership to use the monogram. If you don't have the Cricut Access membership, you'll still see it in here, and you can actually still bring it into Design Space and play around with it, but you can't actually cut it out or use it unless you have that subscription. Cricut does have a 30-day free trial for Cricut Access. So if you want to sign up for that free trial, you can. I can leave a link down in the description box and you can test this out and see if it's worth it to you. When I first pulled up the monogram feature, I was really surprised to see how many different combinations of monograms that you can use. There is hundreds of different combinations. You can also use the cut, draw, or print and cut setting for these monograms, and I can do a couple quick projects to show you how to do that. Also, you can go up to operation type and you can select any, or you can select cut or cut plus draw. Up here is where you can type in your initials. It looks like you can type up to 4 of them. I'm just going to type in some here. After you type that up, it shows up in a little preview window. There's a section that says classic, and there's different options underneath that. I have modern selected, and there's a lot of different textiles under here. You can also just click on one of those and it'll show up with different frames. So we can scroll over and see all the different ones. There's a lot to choose from. And here's just different types. Here's elegant, all the different elegant styles and the same frames, handwritten, and then there is vintage. Over here is thematic. So we have botanical, and I really like these. You can choose from lots of different ones, and you can also choose different font styles too. There's decorative, occasions, there's interest, so tons and tons of different options, and there's sports. And within the sports one, you can change the different font type. Now I'm just going to give a few examples with some projects, and for the first project I'm going to use this one. It's kind of one of the typical monograms. So to work with this, you'll just say add to canvas. My size for this is going to be 1.25 inches, and I am going to change it to white. I'm going to be using white vinyl. Now I'm just going to click make it. I'm going to be cutting this out on adhesive vinyl, so I will just select vinyl for my setting. I am going to add my monogram to this really cute elephant watering can. I found this at the Dollar Tree. The Cricut will cut out the monogram, then I will weed out the excess vinyl. Then I'll add transfer tape to my vinyl. This is a round decal, so I cut slits in the transfer tape, and this just helps apply it a lot easier to whatever you're applying it to. Then I placed the vinyl on the watering can and removed the transfer tape. It was kind of picking up the vinyl, so I just had to press the vinyl down as I removed the transfer tape. And look how cute this looks. It's so easy, and I just used scrap vinyl. I'm just going to come over here and hide this. Now I'm going to go back to my monograms, and I am going to change this to a J. I am going to go down to sports. I'm just going to choose a font for my J. I'm going to use that one, and I'll select add to canvas. My 8-year-old son is playing baseball this year, and he's really loving it, so I thought I could put this on his water bottle that he brings to practice and games. You can change the color of these. His team is the Tigers, which is the colors navy blue and orange. So I am going to go up to my bat and I am going to change this to orange. Then I am going to go to the center part and I am going to make it navy blue. Now I'm going to size this. I'm going to make it 3 inches for the width. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. I don't want the Cricut to cut out these pieces in here, so I am going to add an offset layer. I just want to make it as thin as possible. Then I'll select apply. It automatically makes it black, but I want it to be white. So I am going to come up here and change it to the color white. Then you can't really notice it that much. The last thing I need to do is highlight over everything. You can see that I have all 3 layers selected and I am going to flatten it. And you want to make sure that you don't skip that part. So now I can just click make it. I'll hit send to printer, then I am going to select use system dialog and I'll select print. I'm using glossy photo paper, so I am going to select photo glossy paper. It automatically brings it to best, then I will select print. Now that it's printed, I'm actually going to select vinyl for my setting. The Cricut will read the registration lines, then it'll cut out the baseball design. After that, I remove the paper by bending the mat backwards. Then I just remove the sticker. I line it up on the water bottle, then just set it down. And I really like how this turned out. I just think it looks super cool. I'm going to use the draw feature in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to go back to Monogram. And I am just going to type in K. Then I'm going to go to Botanical and I'll select the second one and I'm going to choose this font. Then I will just select add to canvas. I want this to draw on an envelope, so I'm going to get rid of this background cut. I'm just going to delete it. This is already set to pen because that was the operation type of the monogram, but I'm just going to change it to blue since that's what color I'm using. This is going to go on the back of the envelope, the part that folds down and seals the envelope. I'm going to be putting the envelope directly on my cutting mat and then I'll have the Cricut draw on top of that. But the hardest part with that is figuring out how to center it, because if I click on make it, it's going to bring it to the top left corner and my envelope's going to be laying on here and I want it to be centered with that envelope. So I will show you the hack that I found that is really, really helpful. First, I want to size this. I'm going to make it 1.8 inches. Now what I'm going to do is grab a shape. I'll grab a rectangle. I am going to make this the size of that flap of the envelope. That is 7 inches for the width and 2.5 inches for the height. If I were to bring this up here and attach it to the monogram, then it would try to cut out on top of the envelope, which we don't want it to do that at all. So what you would want to do is come up to operation type and select score. The Cricut will go over it, but I'm just not going to put my scoring stylus inside of the Cricut machine. Now what I'm going to do is line this up. So I'm going to highlight over both of these. Then I'm going to go to align. I want to center horizontally to bring it in the center. And then I want to center it vertically. That goes up and down. Now that I have all of these selected, I want to attach them together so it keeps it all centered and exactly where I want it. Okay, now I'll click make it. I also want to move this so I know exactly where to put my envelope. So what I like to do is just bring it down 1 inch and over 1 inch. Then I will just put my envelope right there. It doesn't matter what material I select here because the Cricut isn't actually going to score or cut at all. I'm just going to select one of these. If you're using a maker machine, it'll pop up with load the single scoring wheel in clamp B. What you'll want to do is go up to edit tools and select scoring stylus, then select apply. If it's hard to tell what's going on, I will show you on the Cricut machine how it'll do this, and hopefully that will make a little bit more sense. You can see the top part of the envelope is where the Cricut's going to draw. I place it on the mat 1 inch down and 1 inch over. First, it's going to score, which we don't have our scoring tool in there, so it's actually not doing anything. We're just basically tricking the Cricut. Then I add my blue Cricut pen into clamp A, and it'll start drawing out the design. Here's what it looks like when the Cricut is done drawing. Let me know if you have any questions with the Monogram feature, and let me know if you have used it. Also, Cricut is coming out with a lot of new updates in Design Space, so I will try to get videos out as soon as those updates come out. So definitely make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel.